Thank you so much for joining me in my rookie walkthrough for the City Park 9-hole Cup. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the shots that I'll use and we'll talk about some of the possible alternatives. Always be aware you're going to have to play this course according to your clubs, your balls, and your skill level. I'm excited to get into this tournament, but before we do, don't forget to thumbs up the video and subscribe now to Erelic Gaming so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Good luck in the tournament. Welcome to hole number 1, where we begin with a par 3. I'm setting up this shot with a marlin ball and a backbone. I give it 4.5 bars of backspin and about 1 bar of left spin. Now remember, those spin values are not constant and they will change according to the wind that we are given on this shot in the tournament. I am playing this particular wind and this shot at 10% medium distance. And you know, we just land right up there on the fringe. Top of the yellow ring, I do have sitting right at the top of the fringe. So that's kind of the way I've always set this shot up. And I've definitely had a good amount of success. I wish you the same success. And I hope you can start your tournament off with a boom. Good luck. We'll see you on hole number 2. Hole number 2 is probably the hardest par 4 in the game. I like to try to play this drive a little bit conservatively with a Titan and an extra mile. I am giving it max top and max left here with this nice friendly right to left wind. I set it up with the bottom of that red ring basically touching the rough here and the tip of the ball guide or the ball guide running just over the edge of that second rough protrusion. So the thing here, I definitely could give this a tiny little bit of left curl. You don't want to give it too much though. You really have a very dangerous proposition of bunkers and rough. And this drive here is a real mess. So feel free to take a little bit of topspin off this shot. However, you may need to give it a little bit more power on this second shot or use a club with more distance. So 10% on that drive adjustment, negative 10% max here on the second shot. I am giving this one here, I end up giving it 1 bar of backspin and about a half a bar of right spin into this shot. And the whole thing with this one is you are really just trying to make sure to get this ball safely to the green, I tell you, because it does slope off very steeply in front of the green and it can roll right off the back into that bunker. You can find a couple little speed glitches on this green. I mean, there is a rough bump opportunity, but it is very difficult as well. Look, I'm telling you, play this one to try to just get that birdie. And hey, if you can get a little close, this is droppable. I know you can make it. I believe in you, but let's try to save it for Saturday, okay? I'll see you on number 3. Hole number 3, and we have what I think is a very cool, but still very difficult par 3. I'm playing this one with the Titan ball and a quarterback here on the drive. If you have like master level clubs, maybe you could go for it here, but I would just recommend playing 1-to-1 here. I like to have the ball guide kind of touching the left part of that thick part of the shadow, just to kind of give myself a consistent reference point. 3 topspin, 1-to-1 here, like I said, and rolling it just to the end of this first fairway. Second shot, then you're going to need a good amount of distance. I bring the big dog and I play this here at 10% max. I'm basically giving it 2.5 top, maximum left spin here, and depending on the wind, you might need to give it a little bit of curl, but I find it works out quite nicely here just to have the max left spin, 10% max. So we're going to adjust this shot 1.4 rings, and really what you're trying to do is just get it over this big middle of the fairway hazard and get it up just before that greenside bunker that you see just ahead of us here. So just a nice, simple, normal shot for this second shot here. And as you can see, just like we said, up and over that rough, rolling it on down and just up in this nice little kind of spot before this bunker. So then the third shot, we're playing for a funnel, a big, juicy, beautiful funnel if you can make it happen. Backbone is the play, negative 10% medium distance here. I play this one with 3 bars of top spin and about 1.5 bars of left spin. Take a quick note of where that bullseye is centered there on the rough between that fringe and the bunker, and you got to have that ball guide trailing right to the hole. There are some wind situations that will make this shot much more difficult, if not impossible. So take note, it's not bad to play it on the right side, with a sniper or a hornet, excuse me, a hornet or a thorn. So otherwise, if you can get it to play up and along this path, you're going to find yourself with a pretty awesome drop. Hole number 4, and we're definitely looking for another boom. I bring this backbone and a marlin, and I set this one up for a 10% max adjustment. I give it 3.2 bars of top spin and about a half a bar of right spin with the current spin values. I have that second bounce, just one green square, just onto the green. Now, I realize there is a rough bump you can play on the right side here. I personally have not had a lot of luck with it. I find that this shot directly at the pin really eliminates some variables for me. So, hey, if you have a good rough bump play and you enjoy it, do it. However, I also enjoy just bounce, and rolling it into the cup. I wish you the same. I wish you luck. I'll see you on hole number 5. Here we go for hole number 5, and this is the stereotypical city park hole. Sets up so easy. Extra mile. You can bring whatever ball you want here. You can bring a little bit extra power here. Bring a Titan or something. Bring a Katana, just so you don't need to adjust in overpower, as you see me do here. You're also going to see me push up a little bit. That's just because I adjusted down into the bunker, as you can see here. However, I played this shot with 4 bars of top spin, 1 bar of right spin. Now, I would say in most situations, you can probably get away safely playing just 3 bars of top spin, but I would keep that right spin in all situations just to help avoid that rough on the left. You can also play to the right of that central fairway tree. End of the day, you want to end up somewhere nicely here at the elbow of this dog leg left. So that was 10% max on the drive. Second shot here, I'm coming in with my thorn. Now, I play this shot at 10% medium distance, and I give it a couple of bars of backspin. It's really just that simple. There's something finicky, something funny about this green. That elevation changes, I think, depending on where you are on the fairway. So because that fairway is fairly undulous, meaning that it has some ups and some downs, that you kind of have to be consistent in your drive, find a consistent position that you can try to play from the same spot each and every time, and then you can build out that nice consistent outcome. So that's what we're looking for. However, straight up and down, just squeezing it in on the left side there. We'll take the drop, and I wish one for you too. Good luck. Hole number 6, and I'm showing you a shot here with a Zerk and an extra mile. Now, the reason I'm doing that with this maximum top spin shot is so that I can reach really nicely with the second shot. So give this one, like I said, max top, maybe a tiny little bit of side spin depending on the wind that we're working with. And I do push this one back up to max. Depending on the wind that you have, depends on how much overpower you're going to want to use. The ultimate goal for me here is basically to roll down or just slightly surpass the hill at the end of this first fairway so that we can end basically where you're going to see my ball end here. So based on this wind, I only had to give it a little baby overpower, but that extra power in the ball is so that we can reach really nicely on that second shot. You can also achieve a similar outcome from the left side, but then that second shot is much easier achieved with higher level clubs with greater power. So second shot then here, I'm going to play with the big dog, and I adjust this shot for negative 10% medium distance. I give it a couple of bars of backspin and a little bit of side spin to counteract that left to right wind. The second bounce here is just onto the green, and this is an outside chance at an albatross, but definitely one that is possible to make. One thing that I noticed here, if you look at the app closely there, I forgot to change it to negative 10%. So I do adjust here too much on this shot. However, we still leave ourselves in a beautiful position for a very, very simple tap in eagle putt. And I really like the idea of having a chance, to go for an albatross on a hole that can be seen as quite difficult, depending on how you choose to play it. So here you go, little bounce. You see the over adjustment here, but nonetheless, simple tap in. And there we go for hole 6. I'll see you on hole number 7. Hole number 7, and you're going to see another par 4 that gives City Park its reputation. Quasar ball here and an extra mile. I give this one max top, max left. I do set it up, and I would recommend just a little bit having that yellow ring less close to the edge of the rough. Maybe just have half of the red ring in the rough just in case you hit a great ball. I do want to hit perfect here, obviously. Bounce it here on the first fairway up over that long rough, and we're just trying to stay to the left of this sand, setting ourselves up for a wood shot on our second play here. So second shot, then sniper, and I'm setting this shot up with 0% medium distance. That means I'm going to adjust this shot with 3.8 rings. Now, you are going to see here that I give this one 3 back and about 1 bar of right spin with the current spin values. Setting it up, second bounce, you know, a few green squares up onto the green, and you have to kind of work with a very undulous and sloped green, which is part of the challenge of trying to get this shot to be consistent. Now, I know it's makeable, and you're going to see me drop it here, but I did hit great, so we're coming in, you know, a little more left than intended, so we have to work on our spin set here, and it's going to take a bit to get it with the tournament wins, but let's go on hole number 8. The thing about City Park is it's hard to find a flat surface anywhere, and that includes the last par 3, hole number 8. Bring a Katana and a Saturn, and I give this one about 6 bars of backspin and like 2 bars of right spin. Now, I recommend setting up about 1 green square north of this position. In other words, I want that second bounce to be 4 dark green squares to the right of the pin and about 1 green square above the pin. Otherwise, you just make this adjustment. Now, you might want to push that adjustment instead of pulling it. You know, a little bit easier to work with. However, hit that clean, crisp, perfect shot, and you get this little bounce up on that slope, up on that hill, and we watch it just roll down ever so close. And as you can see, why I would suggest moving that landing position about 1 square up. Hole number 9, and we want to finish off this tournament on a strong note. I bring a Kingmaker ball for this one and your good old quarterback club. Now I'm setting it up with about half of that clear ring in the right rough with this quarterback 6, and as you can see, we're giving it 3 top, max right, and I adjust this shot at 1-1. I do have the second bounce about 1 ring into the fairway. Now as you can see, we give this one a little bit of right curl. Be very, very careful with this curl. Do not over curl it. As you can see, this second bounce, oh so close to the rough. You want to avoid that if you want to have any chance to hit the second shot. Now, the reason I bring a Viper is more often than not with my low-level accounts, that sniper just does not quite have the reach for this shot. Do what you will, but this is how I play it. I play 10% max for this second shot, 3 back, and about a half a bar of right spin. As you can see, I've got that second bounce just on that fairway patch between the rough and the fringe. So use that as a little bit of a guide in setting up this shot. And otherwise, you just have to hit it cleanly and hope for a little bit of luck. Boom, baby. Come on now. I wish you the absolute best in this City Park 9-hole cup. I hope you get the booms and bring home those banners. Good luck. Thank you so much for joining me for this City Park 9-hole cup walkthrough. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. And thank you so much for subscribing now to Erelic Gaming so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Good luck in the City Park 9-hole cup.